Hey everyone, it's Judy with Talk to Me Tuesday. It is Wednesday, August the 7th. I really don't have anything to show y'all new this week. I have been working. Things have been happening. I finished up my Bubbles quilt, and I finished up my first round on the Shiny quilt over the last, little bit. Um, but, I can't show them to you yet. Um, Hopefully, I will be able to see some of that progress here soon. Until then, I almost didn't make a video this week again, because I didn't make one last week, because of everything that I've been working on is, not released yet. So, but then I was like, I always got something to talk about when it concerns quilting, so here I am. We have a local show coming up, quilting show. I live in a little bitty town, and but every year in the month of September we do a small quilt show. It ends up being probably between 100 to 200 quilts that gets displayed, and a majority of the people usually enter several. We do get a couple, donated, or you know, random quilts displayed, but for the most part, between 100 to 200 quilts. And the last few years I've participated in it. So this year I want to probably display 4 or 5 quilts there. And so I'm going to revisit some of my old stuff, some of the stuff that I might have finished this year or even the last couple of years. My first quilt that I'm displaying is my Hocus Pocus Quilt-Along quilt. I'm sure all of y'all still remember it. I'm only gonna, but it goes on and on and on. So it's one of my all-time favorite quilts that I've ever made. I absolutely adore it, and it will be actually being, once I receive it back from the quilt show, it will be on display here at the house for Halloween. So that's happening. This is the one quilt that's going up. I'm going to move this over here. And then the second quilt that I'm going to be displaying is, I call this Fanfare. It's all little bitty pieces of different fandom-based fabrics mixed in with the white. It's English paper pieced. It is my very first quilt that I have ever hand-pieced and hand-quilted. The sewing machine did not touch this quilt at all. Every bit of it was hand-done. This is actually my personal lap quilt that I use in the living room. I recently made a Doctor Who quilt, and now it's my rotation quilt. But I don't know, there's something about that hand quilting that really makes a quilt soft. So this is my personal quilt, and I'm thinking I'm going to give it up for a little while and use my Doctor Who quilt and display it. So have that one. And then this is my very first Bonnie Hunter quilt that I ever made. And as you can see, there's a lot of Doctor Who fabric going on in there. The exploding TARDIS, different pieces of, but if you are away from it, you really can't see the Doctor Who fabric. Very traditional looking quilt, with my own little twist to it. Let's see, I think it's In Providence, I believe is the name of it. I hand stitched this one, hand quilted this one. I did sew it on the sewing machine, but I hand quilted it. I was just starting to practice with free motion quilting, and I loved this quilt so absolutely much. I just couldn't risk me messing up the quilting, so I hand quilted it. It took me quite a while, and actually it hung on a frame for a long time, but I've started rotating out my quilt frame in the living room. So This is the next quilt that I plan on displaying. And then the last quilt that I'm probably going to be displaying, I had to borrow this one because it was for a dear friend of mine, and she is doing well, but she did have a run with cancer, and I really wanted to make her something special. So, but she's doing good now. She's cancer free. So, but I asked her if I could borrow her quilt for this season, and she was happy to do it. Um, but this was hand pieced and then machine quilted, and she loves turtles. So it is a little turtle star. I keep getting my sides messed up. The camera's backwards and it's throwing me off. But hand pieced, and then I used the meander, a real small one too, and I love the way that it makes the fabric, kind of gives it a really nice texture. I love it. She was thrilled with it. And on one of these corners is well, I gotta find it. Y'all gonna see, watch me fiddle with the quilt. I don't know what I did. Oh, here it is. On the back of one side, I just printed out a label that says, "To my turtly awesome friend." And anyways, this one's going to get displayed too. So that's what I am going to be showing. I am thinking about adding one more quilt to the pile. I've been watching, let's see, Jennifer made a 9-patch, disappearing 9-patch. And then a couple other people posted disappearing 9-patches. And then all of a sudden it's like, I've got to do that. I have to do that. Well, compared to some of the more complicated patterns I've been working on here lately, I really think that's going to go pretty quick. So, I have until the 1st of September. It is the 8th of August now. I should have plenty of time to pull that off. I would also like, with that in mind, I would also like to tell you, I've been working really hard this year. We got my new room, and the whole purpose of the room was so that I could work on multiple projects at a time. And I started off really good, and I had several projects going. Well, I'm down to one. I'm down to one project. So, I think I can pull off a second project before the 1st of September. That's what I'm going to be working on. And I'm going back to my shiny quilt, and I'm going to start on round 2 with it. So, anyways, I'm hoping y'all have an absolutely wonderful week and a wonderfully crafty week, and I will see y'all next week.